As part of ArcheryTalk's 2017 hunting bow project, we've put together review videos of 6 different flagship bows, which you can find on our YouTube and Facebook channels. We're also doing some head-to-head comparisons, and this time we're looking at the Mathews Halon 32 and the Xpedition Xplorer SS. Each bow is laid out with a QAD drop-away rest, a Trophy Ridge React H5 sight, and they're sharing a Beestinger counterslide stabilizer. The Xpedition Xplorer SS has an axle-to-axle length of 30 inches, a brace height of 6 1/8 inches, an IBO rated speed of 355 feet per second, and a mass weight of 3.9 pounds. The Mathews Halon 32 has an axle-to-axle length of 32 inches, a brace height of 6 inches, an IBO rated speed of 343 feet per second, and a mass weight of 4.73 pounds. To test for speed, I ran each bow through a chrono using a Gold Tip Valkyrie 4-fletched arrow weighing 398 grains. Each bow is set up with 60 pounds of draw weight and 29.5 inches of draw length. The Xplorer SS saw an average of 295 feet per second, while the Mathews came in with a 286 feet per second average. However, when I put these bows on the draw board, the Mathews came in about a ½ an inch long, so you could subtract 4 or 5 feet per second. I really like how both of these bows draw. I was a little skeptical of the Xplorer SS as it's kind of a short axle-to-axle speed bow, but outside of the cycle being a little stiff, it's very smooth and linear and pulls into a solid back wall thanks to the limb stops. Drawing back the Halon 32 is a treat. It's an extremely smooth and easy pull right into the valley, which is quite generous. There's also a lot of let-off on this bow, so you can hold at full draw for long periods of time if need be. The back wall has a tiny bit of give to it as it is a cable stop bow, but I kind of prefer that. Both of these bows draw great, but if I have to pick a winner in draw cycle, I'm going with the Halon 32. The grip on the Xplorer SS is one of my favorites. It's a nice flat front and it's fairly narrow and fits just perfectly in my hand. It's exactly what I'm looking for in a hunting bow grip. I'm not a big fan of the grip on the Halon 32. It is nice and flat on the front how I like it, but it's a little too wide and just doesn't feel quite right in my hand. I've just never been able to get comfortable with it. As much as I don't like the grip on the Halon, it sure didn't hurt my accuracy. I felt really good about shooting this bow at 40 or even 50 yards. While a 30-inch speed bow is not normally my preference, the Xplorer SS grouped very well for me at 20 and 30 yards. However, I was not as consistent with this bow as I'd like to be at 40 yards and beyond. I'll give the edge in accuracy to the Halon just for its performance for me at longer range. As long as you have access to a bow press, a simple twist of one of the yokes can clean up a lot of problems with arrow flight. I will say though that I really dislike having to remove the limb stops on the Xplorer before putting it in a bow press. That's long been a pet peeve of mine and it's not uncommon at all on limb stop bows. The Halon 32 was shooting bullet holes through paper for me within just a few shots, and I really haven't had any trouble getting this bow set up and shooting great for me at a variety of distances. The only issue I'm having is a little bit of right cam lean that I can't fix without picking up Mathews' top hat system, and that's a little more complicated to use than simple yoke tuning. Both of these bows shot very well for me with very little effort on my part, but I'm going to give the slight edge in tunability to the Xplorer SS. Fit and finish is another very close category between these two bows, but I'm going to give the edge to the Halon 32. That lost XD camel pattern on this beefy riser might make this my favorite looking bow of the year. The Xplorer SS is no slouch looks-wise either. In fact, the look of this dark riser would look really nice for me up in a tree stand in the thick woods. When it comes to price and value, there's only a $50 difference between these two bows, with the Xplorer SS coming in at $1,049 and the Mathews Halon 32 at $1,099. I think it's pretty safe to call this category a draw. Picking a winner between these two bows is a bit of a tricky proposition, but for me, it all comes down to personal preference and need. If you need to walk a long way to your tree stand and want a light, compact bow, the Xplorer SS is the one you should look at. If you're more of an open country hunter or might need to take a longer shot at a big elk or a mule deer, the Halon 32 might be your answer. Either way, you can't go wrong.